Hey, it's Dan, and welcome back to Unified Gaming. Now, in this stream, as you can probably gather, I'm just going to be showcasing New World and really giving my thoughts on it, having played the game now for a month at least, and really answer any questions that you may have, so feel free to leave some in the comments down below. As with these ones, I'm not going to sort of claim to be an expert, but I have dabbled a lot with the game and have kind of looked into kind of the nitty-gritty of it as such, so I kind of do my best to answer any questions that are posed, okay? And whilst we're doing that, I will just focus on trying to level my character as well. I'm also going to showcase as well, if I get some time, a PvP build I'm working on, which is an Ice Gauntlet and Musket build, which is incredibly fun to play, and yeah, I really enjoy that. So yeah, I'll be showcasing that as well if we can get some opportunities. But I think that's kind of it. Will Barton's going, Dan! So first and foremost, I just wanted to get some XP quickly and just really go through kind of what is New World. So, you know, for lots of people that are familiar with my channel, I focus on Elder Scrolls Online, and I have been doing a lot of New World recently, given the fact that I did have COVID, so I didn't make any videos, and just wanted kind of a break of ESO because it was very, the performance was questionable. So kind of what is New World and kind of what is it like? New World, in all honesty, it's definitely worth buying. You know, just kind of, I know that people are going to ask that straight away, should you buy it? And my honest answer would be yes. And that's not because I'm a New World fanboy. There are issues 100%. Like there's problems. There are problems, okay? But what New World has that is very different to other MMOs is it has a very kind of, it's on action-based combat, which the closest thing now is, the closest thing really is Elder Scrolls Online. And it kind of splices Elder Scrolls Online with something similar to kind of like Tekken, which sounds a bit odd. So if you're unfamiliar with what Tekken is, which I'm not sure anybody would be, but Tekken is basically a fighter game. And the thing with Tekken and lots of fighter games is you are locked into your movements. So when you like cast an action or a skill, you are forced to sit in that. And in New World, it's the same thing. Like you've got loads of actions. You've got light attacks, which are your spammables, heavy attacks, which more damage, blocks, rolls, weapon swaps. You've got 3 skills in those. You've got 4 potions you could use. You can jump, you can crouch, you can dive. So there's lots of things you can do as a player, but everything that you do, you get locked into it. And so I personally think that the combat's more engaging as a player than some of the other MMOs on the market, because you're constantly doing something. Whereas with Elder Scrolls Online, for example, that's my main MMO, you are focused on spamming skills, trying to line things up. And it's nice to be able to just use your skill whenever you want, but it does get kind of very repetitive. And the time to kill is very long because of how the developers have changed the game over time. Whereas this is very fast combat, very quick. So I think from a combat perspective, I think New World is better than Elder Scrolls Online for combat. So if you want a game that has a really nice combat, New World is for you. But the big criticism is the PvE. Like if you are a PvE player, this is not for you. Like it has some really nice mechanics. It's got some really cool kind of quests and lore behind it. But as you can see, the combat can be kind of the fun part of the game. Beyond that, the storytelling's pretty lackluster. You then also have obviously bugs with the game, but there's bugs with the ESO, there's bugs with other games. The one thing that would really frustrate me, and I think a lot of people, I think John kind of really hits the nail on the head there, is the knockbacks. Like you constantly get CC'd by mobs. It's so irritating. So that's something to just sort of factor in. And the question is, it's like Fallout 76. If you ever played Fallout 76, it's very much go here, read this, find out something, go elsewhere, come back. It's a lot of that. There are parts that are voice acted. There are NPCs, but a lot of the side quests are partially voice acted, which kind of is questionable. Yeah, I realised John was Zoom. We're good. Ooh. You never know with these things. There we go. Sorry about that. God, there's a lot of people here, isn't there? Ooh, a lot of people over here. I think we're going to do some portal trains, I think, in a moment. Oh, look how many people there are. So many. Yeah, we're going to go into do some portals, I think. Portals there. Loads of portals and weavers. So let's go weavers. We'll travel here. And we'll do weavers. See, as we're saying with the questing and the PvE, the PvE is very similar to Fallout 76. That you kind of, the storytelling is very kind of lackluster. The only thing that I would say is the story is actually more interesting than Fallout 76. The lore is actually quite in depth. It's just not explained well. We'll travel to here. And we'll go and kill these portals. And so, if you're looking for a PvE game, this is like, I wouldn't say this is for you just yet. That said, the developers have done a lot to make PvP somewhat of a thing. So when the game was being developed, they've added PvE, in about a year. So it shows you they can work at quite haste and actually get the stuff in the game. It is somewhat buggy though, so yeah. We'll do a quest over here. A lot of the quests are like this, where it's go to a place, investigate it, or kill something and come back. You also have a few bugs and some stuff. One of the big bugs that's quite annoying is the AoE bug on Ice Gauntlet. You'll follow the trail of ectoplasm. I'd also suggest, just for anybody who does actually play the game, when you leave a town, always put down a camp. It sounds stupid, but if you haven't checked in, the respawn can be a bit finicky and doesn't always let you go to the town. Whereas this just helps avoid that issue. It's this way. So I thought I'd do this quest while we're nearby. As for kind of the general quests themselves, as I kind of alluded, they're kind of very much go here, do that, come back. So it is quite repetitive, I'm not going to lie. The big advantage of PvE players is the craft system. So everything in this game has, like, is gatherable. Kill something, harvest it, see a tree, chop it down, find an ore vein, mine it. Like, you can do pretty much anything you see you can interact with in some way most of the time. And then that in itself helps drive the economy, which allows you to use your resources to then refine them and then to make stuff. I would say that the making stuff is very expensive currently, and that does need addressing. What's that? That's just a boulder. We'll just kill Mr. Piggy. That's been mined by somebody else. I think if obviously anybody gets any questions about something specific, obviously feel free to ask. As for kind of the exploration of the world, it's really, really pretty. They've done a really good job at making the world look nice. And that is obviously like a real strength of the game. That it looks nice, it's very well crafted. Yes, you spend a lot of time walking from A to B and vice versa, but at the same time you do also get to like do things on the way. And so that's one thing I'd really like say is a strength, that if you want to just explore, kind of almost treat this as a sandbox MMO rather than kind of a World of Warcraft where you follow quests, you get told where to go. It's not that. Like, I found I had the most fun when I'm just going out doing my own thing. Going, you know, what's over there? Like, what is over on that bridge over there? What, can I go there? You know, would I find a good chest? And it's all that kind of stuff that really makes the game fun. And I think that is the biggest strength the game has. And it doesn't lean on it heavily, which is a shame. Because they've done such a good job with the world that you can just do like so much with it. Like, you can harvest almost anything you see. And so I think that's where I have the most fun, like for PvE, is exploring the world, doing my own thing basically, having my own kind of like, you know, today I wanted to get to jewelry crafting 100, so that was a big like milestone for me. So I really focused on doing that. And I think that's kind of how you want to play the PvE in this game. Yes, there's dungeons, yes, there's group content, yes, it is fun, but there are bugs that does impact it. And on top of that, you also have just general issues where you're trying to get into that kind of stuff's hard because of the materials required. It's really difficult to just farm enough of it. They are going to adjust it though going forward. They've already said that. So yeah, just going out exploring, killing your own stuff is really good fun. I should be going to these portals up here really. When you go to town though, one of the best ways to level on a side note is going to a town, picking up all the quests that you can, and then basically just kind of doing a quest route where you kind of clear portals or something, and as you're doing that you're also going to go and do any quests nearby. Alright, we've got back to the town. This is such a weird town. I think John obviously also hit the nail on the head there actually, which I think is easy to overlook. So what John's saying is that basically this is a classless game. So kind of compared to your typical Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars for example, where you're a wizard or you're going to be a paladin, or you could be a rogue. This allows you to kind of do what you want. So for PvP, I'm actually rocking a Muskin and Ice Gauntlet. That's what I use in PvP. So Muskin and Ice Gauntlet, which are like, that's a really weird combo, but it's really effective. And you can make some really interesting builds. Equally, I can go, well, I actually want to be a wizard in PvE, and I'm a wizard. I could go, actually, I don't do any of that. Just reset my attributes. So that's my stats for people curious, which you can just respec for gold. And then you can basically change your attributes and your gear and use any other weapon. So you go, now I'm going to be a healer. Or now I'm going to be a melee brawler. And so you can really adapt your character quite quickly without any kind of real, you know, you're locked to this class or that class.
In all the hustle, the fear,
And that's really nice.
illness that's plaguing the village, we've forgotten who we are.
You see what I mean with the voice acting? That is kind of part or voiced for some of the side quests, which is a real shame.
Yet, if you don't mind, I think it would be a kindness.
So I think it's a shame. I think that is, I do feel like they've missed an opportunity there.
Then Matheson has been dealt
I'll
with?
turn that in. There's an XP. Another 2k. Nice.
Still doing inventory, trying to identify.
You want to grab as many quests as you can, by the way. You're just trying to
Willis
level.
believes there is some merit to my theory, and she had some ideas of her own. That's what the alchemist thinks. I don't know.
We've got that quest. I'm going to get to the town board as well. Just grab what you can. I will do that as an easy one. I don't think I have that. Oh, I do have that on me. I never have that on me normally. I don't have that though. I know that much. I don't think there's any more quests. You downloading it, Will? Good man. Next thing, did you know that Disney's making a new Star Wars movie? I did not know that. I would say, truth be told, I've seen Star Wars, and I think it's all right. But I'm not one of those people. I'm like, Star Wars is coming out. It's like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't.
Takes a certain kind
I'm not a
of
big
travel
Star
to
Wars
defend.
fan. I think obviously I'm 30 now, so it kind of came out the generation before me. And yes, I saw the videos as a kid and the films, but I just never kind of got into that lore or into that kind of world. That's just me personally. But I'll still give it a watch. I'd still give it a watch and kind of get an idea. Where's the faction dude? It's good to hear though that you're getting it well. I think you would. I think if you treat it as a night neg, yeah, I think if you treat it as a kind of RuneScape, basically just a 4K RuneScape where you're going to explore and just do your own thing, it's great fun. Like it's so much fun. If it's where you want to be following quests and doing what you want, that texture loading is brutal.
The specimens you gathered are helping me learn a great deal. The
Grab this
specimens you
too.
gathered are helping me learn a great deal about the Fen.
Something better than Elder Scrolls is needed, yeah. I think, like, there's bugs with the game. There's bugs with both games. I think the big thing I like with this is that the combat works. There are exploits, there are glitches, which Elder Scrolls has. The difference is that this has come out and it's been out for about 3-4 weeks. And the developers have done an awful lot already to try and improve performance by adding more servers to remove the queues. They've also done a lot to go and balance things. So if they found an exploit, they'll patch it. So there was this really weird exploit where if you put your game into windowed mode and you shook the screen around the window, you took no damage because the server didn't send you it sent you the information, but your client, so your computer didn't process it because you weren't like tabbed into the game. And so basically what ended up happening was it queued all the damage up, but whilst it was queuing it, you were immortal. They fixed that now. And I'm like, that's a really big bug. That's a massive, massive issue. And they fixed that in a couple of weeks. So I'm like, they are definitely trying to get the game as good as it can be. And this is obviously Amazon that have a massive backing behind them. They've got a lot of money. And they've had a few failed games in the past. So I wouldn't, and this obviously seems to be quite popular. So I think it's definitely worth the money. And I think, for an MMO launch, it's in a good place. There's issues, but compared to some MMOs that I've played when they first came out, this seems the most polished. Now, we need to do something here. We have to defeat Polder boars to collect boar tusks in Weaver's Fen. Okay, so we've got to kill boars. If anybody's curious as to kind of what server I'm on, by the way, I play on the EU Central, which is kind of like the region, and I play on the Naxos server, just for anybody curious. Always get asked, and always forget to say. I will defeat 2 more things. There's one there. So that's fun doing that. That is really fun doing that. Yeah, ESO has bugs, and they get told them all the time, and they just don't do anything about it. And that's what frustrates me. Hey, you're a panda. Panda's coming to see what is all the fuss about with New World. We're looking for the boar, wherever that is. They're just replying to a mate in-game. So it was zombie dude. He's got no legs, that one. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, so we're trying to find the boar, and like the world is just really nice to look at. Oh, chest. So see, like things like that, you're like, oh, there's a chest over here I can grab. Free stuff. And like they've done a really good job with this. That although I'm looking for a pig, that's what I'm really doing. it's fun because there's like stuff nearby. I'm like, look, there's another chest over here. I'm in an easier zone. I always hate the shield boys because you have to like drop the block like that. Then you kill him. Have a look, see if you can change the settings. It could be that you might need to put the quality onto, go to advanced and then put onto like 1080p. It does stream in 1080p, whether that is what's going up or not, you never know with YouTube. So yeah, I'd say check your stream settings, like what you're watching it on, like the video playback, sorry. Oh, iron, like this, like there's iron over here. I wasn't planning on mining the iron. I think it's iron. Unspoiled, it looks like iron. But like you just see stuff and you just get easy to like distracted. So look for that pig. Where on earth is that pig? That one's dead. So a little piggy symbol over there he is. They run away. There you go, that's him dead. Yeah, that's the pig done. Oh, he was on 1440. yeah. 140. 14 is not good. So we've done that quest. There's a quest up there. I want to go to these portals because there's people doing them. These give good XP, they do. The one thing I also like with this game, which I think is a real strength, is every weapon is actually good. Like there hasn't been a single weapon that I've gone, this is terrible. There are some weapons that are better than others, and there's some weapons that are really good for like specific jobs. Like the musket is really good at ranging in PvP, if you can aim it. That's what I really like to use. And I think that's a really nice kind of feature of the game. And the weapons are kind of designed, in my opinion, to kind of be balanced against each other. Whereas certain combos are strong, but there's so many like permutations of what is strong that actually there's a lot of choice with what you use. Rather than when you play ESO, you play as a Stam Necro or a Stamden, or you play as a Mag Necro, or that's about it really, or a Nightblade, Stam Nightblade, and you kind of like, that is kind of as good as the, that's what's like top. Mag Assault's up there too, but like there's just things that are just clearly better than everything else in ESO, and like you just can't use certain specs. Like Magicka Nightblade's terrible unless you're a bomber. That's all it's good for. Whereas the musket you can actually use in melee with the traps and the bombs, or you can use it at high range and dots with these skills here. And I really like that. Like, I like that you can use every weapon like in most content. There are some that obviously have better, preferences where they lean towards like PvP or PvE. Like the life staff is godly. Like this basically makes you immortal if you have it. These, just for people curious, these are corrupted portals. So this is kind of their version of, it's really kind of their version of just having kind of dolmens with that burn damage. All that fire perk is amazing. Use it staff. That's that portal dead. That is some coin and some XP. There's another portal there. Yeah, they literally are dolmens. And then, but what's nice is they have different types. They're not like all the same. Jordan, you with a cheese build. Yeah. Let's try that carcass. XP there. Another one to go up to. So when there's a group, they're really quick. But they're nice. There's different types. So we've seen 2. I think there's 3 types in total. Oh, a little tip: if you do like these, you want to go and damage the carcass. Carcass, I think it's called, a carpiece, or the veil, depending on the portal type, in order to get like credits towards the portal. Another 500 XP there, that will do. Tasty, thank you. We got one up here. Captain Crunch asked, how's the grind going? The grind is real. Yeah, the grind is real. But what I will say is, everybody that I've spoken to who is doing Outpost Rush, is basically saying it's like phenomenal. Like basically, it's basically like Battlegrounds meets PvE. Will ask, is the game pay to win? It's not pay to win. Like the cosmetics, the buy store is all stuff you can buy. I love doing this. Like, bang. That thing can die. Let me just put on a potion there. That will help. That guy, look at his health bar. Oh my goodness, he's gonna. We'll destroy the thing in the middle. Okay, just trying to stay alive, surprisingly. So this is one of the harder ones, and this is like a low level one. There's no sub currently, which is good. Right, so we did that. 2.6k XP there. Take that, thank you very much. There's more portals down here. There's one up there too. Yeah, I'll show you the cosmetic stuff now. Cosmetic stuff in the store. This is what you can buy. Consumables. You can buy dyes. So you can dye your clothes. That's pretty OP. You can use emotes, which again really busted. If you really want, you can put on an armor skin that will make you really strong. Obviously, it doesn't actually do anything. Like, it's just how it look. But literally, it's all cosmetic. There's not a single thing here that changes how the game plays. And if you compare it to like ESO, where you can buy food in ESO, you can buy potions, you can buy the banker, the merchant that actually have gameplay functionality that really change how the game plays. In this, it's all cosmetic. So I think that's a really nice change. So I like that. I'm gonna fast travel here because my in's there. Let's go to the teleport shrine. I honestly think it's worth it. I do. I would say though the first 30 levels, incredibly fun. From level 30 to level 40, from level 30 to level 40, you get kind of this kind of slow stagnation, and so you want to quest and stuff. And then from about 40 to 60, it's really, really slow. So I would, I'd say if you are trying to like power level to 60, you are going to burn out. Like, it's not one of those games where you can rush a character to max level. It's not that quick. Like, if you're a proper farmer, you could probably do it in 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Get to max level really fast. There's a ball there. We'll do that one and that one. Yeah, I felt the same, Captain Crunch. What I found that really helped me is, I don't know if you've ever played RuneScape. I played it when I was a kid, like old school RuneScape, and it feels like that. I mean, you know, it's not as long as the Vector 16, and so yeah, it feels like RuneScape in that the quests in RuneScape are okay. You know, the combat was good. The PvP was actually quite fun, but the big part of what people liked about RuneScape, in all honesty, was the crafting, the gathering the materials, the exploring the world. And New World has that. That if you want to just, I think if your power level, you burn out, and I burnt out. I was like feeling, oh, don't really want to, but I want to get to 60. But whereas when I was like, actually, I just want to go. You know what? My goal for today was get jewelry crafting to 100. I'm gonna go do some mining, do a bit of quests on the way if there's some there, and it didn't feel as bad. And so I think that's how you avoid the burn, is almost set yourself just mini goals that you go, actually I want to go and get my fishing up today, I want to do a bit of fishing, or I want to go and get my clothing up, my armor and skill, so I'm going to farm some hemp, which you get XP for, so like everything you do gives you XP. And although you get a little bit of XP for the gathering the material, when you gather it, you refine it, and you craft it, you get XP for all 3 actions, which then actually is still quite a decent way to level. It's not as fast as portals, it's not as fast as grinding, but it's much more enjoyable. And so that's what I did to really help me kind of really avoid that burnout. Because I know a few people that had that, and they were just pushing to 60. They then got to 60 and was like, oh, there's not lots to do there. And it is a lot better than other MMOs. The grind. Cinch says basically the game isn't really for him, which is fair enough. He's asking, is it a big poo-poo? I think it's alright. I like the game. There's issues with it. Like, I'm not going to lie. But the game is fun to play. Yeah. So like this, you can cheese these. So if you just swing left and right, you can dodge a lot of projectiles. Call it the burn ticks. But this is what the fire stuff's good for, by the way. I found out that the fire blight attack burn thing really, really good. Because what it does is it actually lets you stack the burn. So that's like a 4 fire thing on that. It does that fire tick 4 times. So it actually can become quite a good dot. And some mana back and explode. Pause with this, I think we're done. And then just move away from those boys. Done. And we got 500 XP for that. There's another portal there. So I think just doing things will really help, like with the burn up, if you do this kind of stuff, just explore for a bit. But I've gained, by doing this, for about 3k XP, 3-4k XP. Plus got a few quests to turn into. So it's much more enjoyable. Since McCoy also asked, so just like every MMO out there for the last 20 years, huh? With updated graphics. Kind of. You're a mark. I would say the combat, though, is much more interesting. Yeah, New World's only for PC, sadly. I used to play on console. Oh, that thing hits like a truck. That thing burn. So the thing that's quite cool about these, the portal mechanics here, is you get this corruption. So you actually like take big chunks of health. Which means you can't like just in here, so the dolmen damage is quite low. Then they close the portal. Another 500 XP there. So it's 1,000 XP I've just got in that probably 2-minute window. Thank you. Those people saved my life. Stupid bear. Oh, he skinned the bear. I do think though it is a shame that it's only on PC currently. Whenever you get these options, by the way, always pick storage. That's really helpful. Like, you realise this is a game with like store and stuff. Okay, is that in this region? This is Weaver's Fen? Yeah, we've got a quest up there. Let's do that quest there. So you can see, like, I didn't plan to come to this top end of the map. Oh, he beat me to it. I don't put my little marker. Marker's in the wrong place. Let me move it. Sorry, I didn't move my marker. I was looking for it, going, where did it go? Yeah, I think John asks, and it's kind of a rhetorical question, but he says, apart from ESO, what other MMOs are on console? And the only one that I can think of is Black Desert Online. And that honestly is a game that you need to have your wallet out when you're starting to play it. And I'm not saying that to be, satirical or to kind of, have a laugh at. From playing the game, you need to pay to play it. Even though it's kind of a free-to-play game, you can't play the game properly without the pets and the stuff that you need to like just avoid the grind being horrific, which is bad with that stuff. So imagine without it, it's terrible. So yeah, I think ESO really has that monopoly on console as an MMO. What I like with this, and I think it's really overlooked, is like I've moved from here to here, yeah, and it's taken me a long time to get here. So the world is huge, and what's really nice is not a single load screen. So like, I can literally walk from this end of the map right down to the bottom, and there's not a load screen. And I think that's really nice. Look at that knife tool. Take that one. Skin the stag. So like all these little things, by the way, give you XP. Like all these tiny little things. That's 15 XP there. There's not a lot, but it's resources you need. So like tender wolf loin, I can sell that for like 30 gold. And 30 gold, surprisingly, actually is a lot of money in this game. Like just skin that one quickly. Oh, look at all these portals just spawned here. Perfect. So I'll defeat Ancient Guardian at here. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. Just this part of it. This really helps me avoid that burnout. Just the explore, kill stuff, have fun. Because the world's really beautiful to look at. Like, really beautiful to look at. I'll kill something over here. And I also like that the markers, they're kind of vague, as in that like it's go over here and kill something, but it doesn't tell you what exactly. Sometimes it will with like little marks over the head, but it doesn't point to like it's exactly here. So you have to do a bit of looking yourself. Oh, that thing's dead. And we're going to round a lot of these up. That's 4 out of 5 dead. I also like, which again, like it's all these little subtle things, but I just think people forget is the game has targeted like crits where they, like you get guaranteed crit chance if you hit certain body parts or attack from certain sides. So if you hit something from behind, for example, you get like a really high crit chance. With melee, it's 100% from what I've seen. Look at the bloody shield. So these, the stamina the mobs have is pretty annoying. There you go. And so it's like it takes a lot of kind of really react to your target. So like if I hit from behind you, let me land like that. There you go. So if you get right behind them, you do get like guaranteed crits, and it's really noticeable with melee weapons. Galstner, I think it's pronounced. He asked what's about the PvP. The PvP is good. I think it's the best part of the game. What's she doing down there? Oh, she can hide there. Sorry. Easily distracted, as you can see. I think a lot of people that I have spoken to, they really enjoy the PvP. I do think that there's a lot of people that like the questing currently, which is fair enough because it's new. They want to explore the world and the lore. And so, yes, you can turn on like the flag for PvP, but you'll find that if you want, like, if you look for PvP, you find it. So, like, I can go, look at the map and just go that fort there, for example. People will fight over this fort. People will fight over this fort. People will fight over that fort. This one's got a lock, so this one people won't fight here just yet. And so you can often find fights where the forts are just under attack and they have like a big sword and swords crossed over them to kind of show, look, there's fighting there nearby. So you can often go to one of these places that are not yours, basically attack the door, capture the flag, and it will tell everybody in this region that, look, this fort's under attack. Anybody who's flagged for PvP will then go to that typically to defend it if it's a good fort. So you can generally force PvP, which is quite nice. You will also then have people that will go, no, this is a really good one. It lowers the cost of traveling, which is probably one of the best ones in the game. And so I would, you know, if I was wanting to force PvP, I would fight for that. If I'm not Syndicate. If I want to force PvP, I'd go to First Light, because this has a good travel one that people will want to keep. And so you can encourage it. If you look here as well, these bars here, this purple bar and this green bar, what this means is that there's people here who are flagged for PvP doing quests here, trying to flip this purple. And there's also people here who are green that are flagged for PvP trying to flip it green. And so you know there's going to be PvP here somewhere. So if it's kind of like looking for the right place, like over here, Monarch's Bluffs, there won't be much PvP there. There's going to be a lot of green people here trying to flip this to green. So that if I go here, there will be people fighting, most likely, and I'd run into them in the world. And I think that's what you really got to kind of pay attention to. So to your kind of, is it just level 60? Somewhat, yes. Because level 60, you can do Outpost Rush. That is basically like instance PvP, so you can guarantee PvP with just, you know, push a button, I want a PvP, you know, that's it. John asks about leveling up post level 40-ish. Sorry, pre-level 40. Because around level 40, you can go to Restless Shores and do here. If you are level 35, you could come here still and just have a group that will help you kill them. And that'd be fine, that's good XP. The other option is you can also go and do portals. So like I am, run to a portal, kill it, and there'll be people in a zone that will be doing this for XP, and for you also need to do the portals to get the like fragments to make the keys for the dungeons. So there'll be people doing this anyway. There we go. You see what I mean about how the world is like just really nice to look at? You always find something to do. So the way in which the health bars work, I don't even know what this one is. There's a giant stag. Let me just kill that thing. Oh, that's one of these ones. That was dead. They were just trying not to die. Let's get some mana up quickly. There you go, sorry about that. Gazka asked about health bars and skins and does it affect your camo as such? Not really, is the answer. Do that one next, 500 XP there. When you PvP, you have like see that little diamond shape over the enemy, yeah? Over that wolf. People have that on their heads, so you can kind of see them. But what you do have, which is quite nice, is all the bushes, you'll see them. I found a bush, for example. So at the moment, I like, although I'm crouched, I'm in the grass, I'm not hidden. But if I go into like a bush, crouch down, you see part of my body is like grey. So when you crouch down, you can basically make that red triangle not appear. So you see like you can see like the silhouette of my character. So people wouldn't see that red triangle on me. So if you go for like a musket, for example, you can get like a really good opening shot on somebody and get a really good advantage. And you can have it where you could have like, you could be sat here, for example, your mate could be sat, over here, and then somebody baits people to you. So you can like ambush. And I've had it where I've gone to kill somebody and then 3 people jump out of the bushes and you're like, oh, it's now a 3v1 or it's 4v1 now. That is not what I was expecting. The other thing as well is in ESO you can 1vx, and in this game you can 1vx somewhat. But what I would add to that is a lot of it is. Let me just not die. That generally helps. So these little things give you no XP. So you typically want to kind of like slow them down and do the portal thing. There you go. I'm on PC Central Europe, and it's the service called Naxos. There you go. Yeah, and to John, if you didn't hear earlier, doing portal runs is good XP for low levels. And when you find there's 3 or 4 people doing it in your group, it's even faster because you're able to just get a lot of people kill the mobs. And it does seem to spawn more mobs if they're there. Or this is a cool portal type. I like this one. So this portal type basically has like waves. Don't die. So yeah, as you kill them like this will then summon a new wave and you get a boss mob at the end. So, although this thing's level 35, I let him hit me, he hits like a truck. So it does a good chunk of my health bar. Spore. I'm using that stuff. Yeah, Dolmen Farm from New World. I think that it's an interesting mechanic, and what's nice is you got, I think, 5 types of them, and they're also of different tiers. So these are like easy ones, and if you go to like, this is the harder one, Corrupted Monolith, and then that's up to level 35, like kind of the expected level you should be to do it. If though you go to a different region, up here for example, there might be some in this one here. There's one there. Level 65. It's a Azov Staff tier 5, so you know this will be a hard level. Tier 2, tier 2, so these are easy. And so they get like really hard, some of them. I found like being my kind of level, you can kind of do the ones at a similar level to you or below by yourself. But anything that's higher than you cannot solo. Like, the game is difficult in parts, and I'm not going to say I'm a bad player. I won't say like I'm like the best player either, but you know, I know what I'm doing on the whole, and it is difficult, especially if you can't heal yourself. He says level 30, and it reminds me of the set of ESO in All the Broken Things. Yeah, kind of. I think that there are issues with it. But I think that it's got a lot more going for it than ESO did when it first came out. And they seem to have made more progress with fixing it than ESO did when it first came out. So I'm kind of going on the actions. This is the other type that we haven't seen on the stream today. There we go. I played Elder Scrolls Online when it first came out on PC. And I lasted a week. I quit. I stopped playing it. After a week, it was that bad. If you do these ones, a little tip with 2 people. Get one person to run in. Aggro whatever the thing is inside here. Run out. And the other person just basically plays like Ring a Rosies. And just keeps the other thing busy. And while the other one uses the staff. Oh, went straight through those little laser things there. So he's dead. I'm trying not to use a potion because I don't want to waste it. Which I know sounds incredibly... Damn it. Yeah, we're using a potion. I got hit with the corrupted bit as the mob hit me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to risk dying. If you die, the penalty isn't bad, but you have to spawn at your camp or the town. And obviously, if you're not in the range of the camp, you can't spawn at the camp. So my camp's over here, and I can't use it. So I should probably put down a new camp. Yeah, they haven't done anything for PvP and ESO for years, as you said. If you want to get more XP, you can flag for PvP. I'm not flagged at the moment just because I'm by myself and I'm streaming. When I'm by myself, not streaming, I normally flag because it's easier. But obviously when you're focused on talking to people, checking the chat and stuff, things go south quite quick. Oh, that dude says explosive on him, so when he dies, he does big bomb, does so much damage, just don't get in there. I like that. Galsnar, I think it's pronounced again, and says ESA basically became Crown Shop king, literally. Like the Crown store just was the one thing that was prioritised over everything else. I love this ice gem. Is I'm dead? Oh, big fireball to his head that was. Here's some food, that's nice and cheap. Someone asked earlier as well, and I forgot to say, I think it was Will, at mounts. There's no mounts. So there's no mounts at the moment. I don't think they would add them in all honesty. I think it would ruin the game. We're going to use a potion here. So he's got fire resistant, which is not good for me because I'm using fire. But then his mob type is also corrupted, which are innately strong to ice. So basically he's just really tanky against mages, this thing. Oh, he hits hard, he hits hard. So you do get like random rolls on some of the mobs where they can have like different properties. A bit like in the Fallout 76. Oh, damage. So he's going to explode. We take some corrupted damage. Guess I was saying about ESO being like My Little Pony with the mounts. Another 500 XP there. I did see somebody else down there. We need to go down this way. So yeah, just doing the portals is quite. I think it's quite fun. It takes away some of the monotony of the grind. I'd say hello from this deer thing. Oh no, it's John. John's gonna do a dungeon, he said. This one's almost done. And then some more XP. Another 550 XP. You also get a reputation as well for the towns that you're in. So it's quite nice. We just sold some trousers. Let's move our camp here. And you can use you can rest at your camp to get the get some flint. Flint, that'll do. We'll rest here, get the XP. HP, sorry. Then we'll go get the XP from killing the thing. So, coming to the title of the stream, kind of, should you get New World? You know, a month in. I think the fact that you can play the game for, you know, a month solidly, like, you're definitely going to get 50 to 100 hours out of it, at least. And I think for the price that it is for one-off payment, to get, you know, 50 hours, 100 hours of gameplay, pretty decent actually, compared to some games where you're lucky if you get 10 hours of gameplay. Think about how I think it was Anthem when it came out. That did not last long. So yeah, I think if you're sitting on the fence, I think Steam has I think it's 2-hour refund policy, so you can give it a go if you see if it's right for you or not. But I think from what I've played and what I've done, I'd buy it again. I would. But the whole combat just being so reactive like that, like I rolled at the right time to avoid the damage. And I think that's really nice, like really rewarding that you can do that. So you can see this one is not fire resistant, so you can see the damage is going to be a lot easier to get up on him. So it's so much faster. Whereas the one that we fought last time that was fire resistant, it made a big difference. Like a big difference. We'll open a few of these caches. So I've got 11 of these that we've done. Level 35. That's a major. And we'll see what we get. So you just get like random stuff for the... And all this stuff you can sell. Or you can salvage. So yeah. We'll try to do a big one. It's level 35. You're meant to have 5 people. It's a tier 3. Obviously being level 54, I should be able to do this myself. I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park though. Because these are like elite mobs. So they're generally about 5-10 levels stronger than they would be normally. As in kind of like their strength. So many range things. I did a bit too early, that thing there. Well, my half went awfully low then, didn't it? We'll use this. We'll do this 3 of these. We have to. Obviously, meant to have 5 people with you for this. Ooh. Lots of things trying to kill me. Almost on this one. You see, keep spawning them. We'll use this one. I think we'll get this portal done. Then we'll go back to town and turn these quests in. Alright. Then we'll do the one in the middle, and then we're good to go. No, no, no. There's so many of these little spear throwy things. Look how many things are trying to kill me. I managed to kill a lot of them there. Oh, so many of them. Look at those spears. These things aren't nice, are they? Okay, we managed to do it. 1900 XP, 13 gold, that's not bad. Another chest to open. But yeah, that was they're not as easy as they look, are they? And that's only a level 35 one. But imagine the level 60s. We've got some more shards, which are nice. More slivers. But yeah, no, that was nice indeed. But I think I'm going to kind of call it there because of time and whatnot. I'm going to kind of just quickly sum up just my thoughts generally on the game and whether you should get it or not based on what I've done so far in it. So in 4 weeks roughly, I've got my trade skills to about 100, or most of them. A few of them are like above that. Most of my craft gathering, is 100 plus. My refining's pretty high, so I've done a lot of crafting, explored that. The crafting's really fun. The gathering's actually quite fun to be able to see see something and harvest it. That's really rewarding. The weapon mastery system's cool, where you get to mix and match weapons and stuff. You are somewhat limited with the attributes though, so you get I could put maybe a musket and an ice corner, that would work, but a musket and a life staff, not really. So there are a few limitations, but on the whole, you can make what you want. You can respec and roll multiple times, so I really like that approach. I think the world is beautifully crafted, like it looks stunning. There's lots to do. Even though you have to walk from A to B a lot, there's always something in the middle. So whether it's something to harvest or if it's something to kill. The drawback though is that it can feel very fast and quite empty at times. And with the quest being a bit superficial and very kind of go here, kill that, come back, it can be a bit lackluster. So I think kind of from the PvE standpoint, I wouldn't say that's the strength of the game. I think the exploration, the being a sandbox MMO, that's where it's really strong. kind of go out, do what you want is really good. So it's definitely worth it for that. And the combat and the PvP especially is probably the best part of the game. So kind of, is the game any good and should you get it? If you are after a game that is fast paced, where you get to kind of do your own thing, react to other people and they react to you, and kind of have that kind of tit for tat combat where timing and decision making are really important and vital, then you'll really like the game. If you like a game where you kind of explore and do your own quest, your own journey, then this is for you. But if you are after an MMO, a game where you have to explore and kind of use quests and to kind of level up through questing, level up through kind of following the main story, then this isn't so much for you, and it doesn't hold your hand massively. So if you are wanting that kind of follow the quest route, kind of be told where you need to go, what you need to do, and that's what you want to do to level up, this won't be for you. So I think all in all, it's worth a buy. You'll definitely get your money's worth out of it at 100%. But whether you stick with it long term or not, I think that comes down to whether you like the combat. And for me, I think the combat is definitely worth it. I will be doing some PvP videos once I get to level 60, so you can expect to see that. And for people curious, I do have lots of gameplay already recorded to edit, so I just haven't edited it yet. So I will be showcasing some musket gameplay and some spear gameplay very soon, so do keep an eye out for that. But as I said, I'm going to wrap this up here. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, then feel free to leave a comment or join the Discord. But I'll catch you in the next video or on the next stream, guys. So take care and bye.